Hey up guys, it's Lee from Son of a Pitch. Welcome to another video. As I'm still waiting to get my tent pole repaired, I thought this time rather than go camping with a broken tent, I'd come in and I'd review a couple of pieces of kit that I've got. Please excuse the cat coming in trying to destroy the shed. Yeah, I'm trying to film, Jingies. I'm trying to film, noise down for the people, okay? Yes, exactly. So one of the first bits of kit I wanted to go on and have a look at is the AWROUTDOOR multi-stove. And then secondly, in conjunction with that, because last time I went out, I got the Nalgene 1 litre stainless steel flask that I wanted to review. I wanted to review it last time. I didn't have my gloves. This time I got my gloves, so I thought, while I'm reviewing one, I can tie this review in together and let's see what it's like. I'm going to make a brew on that. Let's test how this goes. Right, so first off we'll get to the multi-fuel stove. Right guys, like I said, first thing I want to look at today is this. It is the AWROUTDOOR multi-fuel stove, and I picked this stove up for $29.99 from Amazon. The reason I got this stove, or actually it's not my stove, it's a little white lie. This is our Raquel's stove, and well, I got it for her Christmas because she hasn't got anything like this. And the reason I got this is because traditionally I'm a gas man. I like to carry my gas everywhere, but we are coming in now to well, January, just start of January, and round here, mid Wales, come February, end of January, it's going to be icy cold and temperatures are quite often in the minuses. I have seen people, and I have had issues before with gas canisters in such low temperatures, so I thought I'd get a multi-fuel stove, and then I've got the options. If I think it's going to be too cold, I can crack on with a hexamen, I can crack on with the alcohol gels, and I can use wood in this, so look, one of the little twigs like. But I thought, well, variety being the spice of life, me being a spicy kind of guy, I thought, let's have as much variety as I can, and this gives me options rather than being stuck down the gas route. So yeah, this is 550 grams or so it says. I haven't weighed it, so I'll just be taking the word for it. The first thing I find, or I notice as I pick this up, is that's not great if you're trying to be stealthy. You're going to sound like Eel the donkey, smashing your pots and pans around with that. So before I take this out, I'm going to have to get some sort of, I don't know, padding in there, be it the little thin foams or a bit of flannel or something in there, just to stop all the metal from crashing together. There are some things in here that I have had a quick look, and I think that I won't be using, I won't be needing, so I can always take them out. Oh, just like that, the rain comes. So let's open the bag. First off, it's all compact. It comes in this little drawstring mesh bag. First item I should be taking out and removing will be these long handled tweezers. Other than for using on the barbecue mesh, which I'll show you later, I can't find much reason to have these with me. I mean, they'd be alright for your first aid kit or something, maybe whack them in there, but I won't be using them with this pot. Next item I won't be using with the pot, but again very useful to have, is a carabiner. Now this item troubled me. I had to read the instructions to find out what this was, and it's probably glaringly obvious, and if you know what it is straight away, put it in the comments below please. It is an extendable metal pole, is all I thought at first. Quick show, it is hollow inside, and I thought maybe this is for digging things out when you've got your wood in, knocking it about, or like I said before, taking your barbecue mesh off, but no, it proves how naive I am. This is a blower. It's a blowing tube or a blowing rod to get your fire started. So you put the small end down by the embers, the big end in your mouth, and you blow it to direct as much air as you can to get your fire started, or if it's gone down a bit, to try and get it restarted. But yeah, every day's a school day. That did stump me. Next item is going to be your fuel holder. So like I said before, be it Hexaman, be it the I've got Fire Dragon gels, or be it alcohol gel. That's what you can put in there, and you just put it in your little plate and it's suspended just underneath the next item. So this item itself is the pot stand or pan stand. As you see, it's got 1, 2, 3 holders there that just flip out. It is fairly sturdy and it seems quite well made, but once the heat's on it, I don't know how it'll warp or how it'll react, but yeah. This item here, I'll lean forward again, that is your combustor. So you can put your sticks in there when you got your fire and you put your sticks in, it goes that way down. If you're having the fuel plate, it goes that way up. Right, the next two items are going to be the stove stand itself. I'll have to look at the instructions to tell you the exact name for this. And this is the air inlet layer, apparently. And this is the combustor, I think it is. Oh no, this is the furnace wall, sorry. So the furnace wall, bring them in a bit, and these two just slot together, stand up like that. As I said before with your combustor, I'm going to be using it today with the gels, so I'm going to have it this way up. Drop that in there. Then straight in with the alcohol plate. Put the pot stand on top then, and as you can see, there she goes, she stands up nicely. She feels pretty rigid, but I don't know how it will react when the heat's on it. One other thing you do get in here is a fine barbecue mesh, which you take the pot stand off and you just drop it on. And there you could, if you had the world's smallest steak, or I don't know, a chicken wing, you could maybe cook that just over the open fire. But and this is what I thought this was for. Digging it off like that. How wrong could I be? Right, I'll put these bits I'm not going to use now just to one side. Right, so as I said before, the fuel I'm going to be using today is the Fire Dragon. And a big shout out now to Lee at the Bug Out. He did let me have these Fire Dragons for a purpose of going through and reviewing our next item, which will be the Nalgene wide mouth stainless steel flask. So I'll get one of these in. Thank you again, and I'll talk more about the Bug Out later when I get the next item out. But big shout out to Lee and Funky Prepper down there, doing an amazing job, and I hope you both had an amazing New Year and a great Christmas. Anyway, let's get one of these fuel things in. So these are the first time I've actually used these. I've used Hexaman quite a lot, but I've not used these sort of gel pop things before. There we go. Pops in like that. Before I light that, I shall bring in the next item to review. So, as I was saying before, you saw this in the last video, this is the Nalgene 1 litre stainless steel flask. And I'll open up and show you. It's wide mouthed, so it makes it easier to get liquids in and liquids out. And what I've done now is this drawstring that goes around to keep the lid in place. You just slacken it off as such and remove it. Once she's removed, you can then actually use the stainless steel flask itself, and that is going to be sat on top, and we're going to see how it performs when we boil some water in it. I have got my other mug and I've got a coffee here to make, so I'm not just aimlessly boiling water. And yeah, I got this, like I said I'd come back to the bug out. I got this from Lee at the bug out to try out. He has taken stock of these now, and they are available on the website. So the website is thebugOut.co.uk. If you go down to that, I will leave a link in the description so you can go on and get these. I believe they're retailing at $29.99. Yeah, like I say, I use the bug out quite a lot because it's a local shop to me. I do know them, but honestly, it's an amazing shop. If you haven't been there, please just have a look at the website or follow his YouTube channel. I'll leave a description and a link to that in the description below. Yeah, they don't only do prepping kit, they do bushcraft kit, survival kit, camping, military surplus. They're now this year starting to offer their survival courses. So you've got firelighting, bushcraft, prepping, navigation and shelter building. So these courses, 1 to 3 day courses, and yeah, you can get accommodation down where they're located as well. So right, let's get this bad boy lit then. I have brought matches with me today rather than a lighter, and you can also light these off the rods and steels. Right, as you can see, that's glaring away now. Let's get some water in this bad boy. I want enough to make a brew, but not too much to kick the arse out of it. Should be plenty. Right, one thing that does slightly concern me is the label on the back. I think that'll just get melted off. So it stands on there pretty well. I have turned the heat shield around now because the wind's coming this way, so hopefully that'll stop it blowing around too much. All the rest of my admin put away. Bring in the old mug and the coffee sachet. Right. A couple of things I've got here as well. My heat-proof gloves. The big ones are used for the fire inside. But what I have seen, you can get small ones that are just like sort of normal gloves, and I'd probably look at investing in some of those. Should I like this stove and want to use it again, because they're a bit big and a bit cumbersome. I suppose they're alright if you're doing your bushcraft and you want to be making your fire outside and moving them about, but they're a little bit overkill for what I want to do. But they're only heat-proof gloves I've got, so like I say, I envisage that this will soon start warming up, and it'll probably weld to my hands if I don't use them. Right, what I'll do now is I'll bring you in for a closer look while it's boiling away. You don't want to sit here and just watch me watch that. So I'll bring you in for a closer look and you can have a better look at it and zoom in with the camera. Right. One thing that is slightly concerning to me, and it's just the height of the flame that's going all the way up that bottom. So if you wouldn't have these gloves on, you would be burning your hands straight, because sometimes that flame is licking up nearly to the top of the cap. So yeah, I'll have a look in a minute when I take her off, and once she's boiled, and we'll see how discoloured she looks. But like I say, this is one of the features it can be used for. So if you're not worried about having anything too shiny, then it'll be fine. There's an error straight away. Obviously, see, I'm not used to using these blocks. I thought one block would be suffice to boil, but there we are, we've run out, so I have to get a second one in. 2 seconds. So now she's boiling, guys. I'm gonna use my gloves and I'm gonna make use of like I said before, this crappy barbecue mesh. I feel like I'm at school doing a big experiment here. Oh, yeah, now here we are. I'll take them off and I'll just move this out of the way for a little bit. Right. First of all, what I did worry, one thing I worried was I wouldn't be able to hold this with one hand because I've only got kids' hands, small hands, and I thought that I wouldn't be able to get my hand around comfortably, so I brought 2 gloves, but I can. So there's a bonus. The wide open neck makes it easy to pour. I've gone a bit over the top with water, I didn't need that much, but yeah. I'll bring you in for a closer look now and we'll examine. So as you can see, she has coloured a little bit, but it appears just to be wiping off. So yeah, that's good. The label on the back hasn't burnt too much. Oh no, not at all actually. That's pretty good. And if I put the lid on, I'll show you the bottom now. I'm not going to fall for that old trick where I just turn it upside down. So putting the lid on is proving quite difficult with these large Mr. Blobby gloves, but the lid's on now, and as you can see, pretty sure that, yeah, most of it wipes straight off. Yeah, so actually I'm impressed with this. I'll put it back on its heat plate. I don't burn my table. I'll take my big daft gloves off, remembering not to touch it again now, because that's one way I could fall foul here by thinking it's all over and done with and just grabbing it again to show you at end of review. Give me coffee, a shake up, get it mixed up. Right, open that, let that cool. So what have we learned then? I've learned that if I'm going to use this cooker, it's gone out now. It's a good cooker. It seems pretty solid, and but it burns through fuel, and it's not really. Put my teeth back in. Yeah, it's not very efficient, like fuel efficient. One of them tablets should be boiling a brew like. It's took 2 to get that brew boiling, so I have to bear that in mind next time. Next time I do it, I will be outside and I'll test it out. We'll get some sticks in there and we'll use it as a little wood burner and we'll see how efficient it is there. But yeah, so that's a lesson learned. Don't presume I can do a brew on one little fuel tablet. Yeah, other than that, I found a purpose for the. I picked this up by the lid. I won't burn my hands, but yeah, I found a purpose for that. So that may come out with me again in the future if you don't want to scorch the grass, or if you want to put something down in your tent without scorching the ground sheet. Yeah, but over in all, the big winner I think here is this. And yeah, it's still a bit too warm for me to grab with my bare hands, but yeah, it did a lot better than what I thought it would. Make sure I'm not welding the lid to it shut. He'll not want it back after this, will he, if I fucking glued that. Oh, beep. If I've glued that shut, ladies and gentlemen, I will have to edit that bit out of here. No. But the big winner with this is the Nalgene mug. It's cooled down enough now for me to hold it, and that's only been, what, probably a minute and a half taken off from boiling. So, yeah, no, she's done well. Very little damage. She looks very robust actually. I was quite surprised how well it stood up to that little heat test, but yeah. And it's made me a brew. It's all worked. Not only that, once it's cooled down, you can go back to your stream, fill it up with water again, or fill it up from your fresh water source, and you can use it then to carry water. So, winner winner. It would alleviate having to have a pot, or if you forgot your pot, at least you've got some way of boiling your water there. So yeah, no, I'm very impressed with this. And the cooker's well, it stood up slightly better than what I thought as well. So, at the end of the day, winner, winner. Well, something boiled in water dinner. Right, so that'll be the end of the video there. Seems like a good place to leave it. I'll go and tidy all my mess away, and I'll go and tell our Raquel that the stove works. Right, just want to say, if you don't subscribe, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out. And leave any comments you got, leave them in the comment box below. I will leave a link to both the stove and the flask as well in the description below, and a link to the bug out. Okay. One last thing to say, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope this year brings, well, all your hopes and dreams that you haven't had over the last couple of years, because the last couple of years have been a bit of a fudge, haven't they? So yeah, Happy New Year for me, and I'll see you again very shortly, where if I ain't got my poles replaced, I'll be going out in a tarp. Cheers, I've been Lee from Son of the Pitch. Thanks for watching.